Everybody ready? Get the back. All right, good.
Well, it's great to be back with you all after a win in Dope. Like I told you all Saturday, I'm really proud of our football team, our coaches and players of just how they were able to just focus, have great focus last week, and prepare for that game to go out and play the way that we played. And I think a lot of that had to do with their focus and with each other and what we had to get done. And we're going to need that same amount of focus, probably even more this week. Would have been a rivalry week against Miami. And we all know what this game is. It's just a little different when Miami and Florida State plays, and we got to have, again, the focus that we need to go out there and execute and play at the level that it's going to require for us to win the ball game.
Willie, I guess we didn't really ask you after the game kind of what went into the decision to start Alex, and did he give you what you guys were hoping to get out of him?
We just thought about it as a staff, what we felt was best, going to give us the best chance to win the ball game. We felt like Alex was going to give us the best chance to win the ball game.
So is the decision going to be based, are the decisions usually based with the quarterbacks based on kind of the matchup in that particular week, or is it who's ahead in the grand scheme of things?
No, I think it's just evaluating your guys throughout the week and how they practice and operate the game plan and execute it in practice, and then you decide what you think is best for the team going that week, and get together staff, decide what you want to do, and you go with it.
Willie, I wonder if you have an update on Dontae Lucas, and will he be available this week?
Dontae is day-to-day.
And then the offensive line in general, seems like the last couple of weeks things have been clicking. I guess what has been working well with the front recently?
Guys just playing well together, playing hard. They're competing, they're fighting. It's a different lineup, but they're playing hard, and Cam's running hard, and receivers are blocking. So I think guys are just getting better.
Lane in the back.
Coach, with the wildcat formation and the success that you had, how big is it whether you decide to use it prominently moving forward? The fact that Miami has to spend a lot of time on film and in practice preparing for it.
I mean, it was good for us on Saturday. I think you'll see more of it. You'll see us doing more of it. Obviously, it worked, and Cam did a great job of executing it while he was back there. So it's on film. Everybody get to see it and practice against it, and we got to self-scout ourselves and do some things to help us and prepare us for these upcoming games.
Coach, as someone who grew up watching FSU, obviously the stakes that the rivalry Miami had back in the 80s and 90s. I guess in more recent years, obviously this will be your second game playing Miami as coach of Florida State. How have you seen that rivalry kind of change recently?
Well, Miami won the last two. I think that's how it's changed. I mean, and we need to see it. We need to stop that, So the rivalry is the rivalry. It's going to be a big game. You can throw the records out. I mean, I think each year you can do that. You got to come ready to play that game and be focused that entire game. Focus on executing the game plan, not necessarily the opponent and all the trash talk and all that stuff that goes with it. You got to stay locked into what we got to get done. That's what it's going to require to win games like this. So the rivalry is the rivalry. It's going to always be big time. It's going to always be where we don't like each other, and that's just the way it is.
With the rivalry, obviously Coach Diaz has Florida State ties. I guess just what kind of relationship or interactions have you had with him?
I've talked to Coach Diaz a couple of times. I talked to him in ACC meetings, and whenever I seen him out on the road recruiting.
And then the offensive line, I guess just upon going back watching the film, how impressed were you with two guys, making their first ever starts, another guy in Cole making his first start in quite a while?
Well, it's good to see those guys go out and play and help our football team win. Seeing the young guys go out and and compete and fight and doing the things we need them to do against some experienced guys was really good to see those guys be able to go and compete against those guys. Let you know, have a bright future ahead of us. But I thought those guys played well together and helped our football team.
Willie, Miami brings one of the better defenses you guys are going to play against all season. What did they do really well? And it's the fact that you played another elite defense in Clemson. Will that help you because you've seen a team with that kind of athleticism and speed?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say because of that. I think schematically they both are different. They're different than Clemson and what they're doing. They have some talented players on that side of the ball, very skilled in the secondary, some veteran linebackers who played a lot of football together, and athletic defensive lines, So they have the athletes on that side of the ball, and they're aggressive with it. They play man coverage, and they have a defensive end that's pretty active in rushing the passer, So they just play well. They play well together. They run to the ball, and they create takeaways.
Willie, we call it the wild cam. What do you call it?
QB3.
All right, that works. And how much does it help in that formation that he can actually throw the ball? He's proven he can throw the ball, and obviously he was a quarterback in high school.
Well, I think it helps tremendously, because now you're not just thinking, we're just going to put him back there and run, and you see that he can throw the ball with him too, and so, and it helps that he played quarterback in high school, We see Cam throw every day in practice, and like, wow, So, again, it wasn't nothing new to us, but it was good to see that he can throw the football accurately, and we're going to need him to.
Willie, I know Syracuse offense has not had a great season, but how impressed were you with the way you guys played defensively for the first 2.5, 3 quarters, and have you seen that coming?
I think our defense played well when we're aggressive. I think we played pretty darn good when we're aggressive, and I thought Coach Barnett did a great job of being aggressive in his play calling throughout the game and putting our players in position to make plays that they're capable of making. So when we're doing that, our defense play really well, and we need to continue to put our guys in position to make plays. And that's one thing I was impressed with both Kendall and Coach Barnett is again, not necessarily in thinking plays, they were thinking players and putting our players in position to make plays on Saturday, and that was good to see.
Willie, there was a moment, I think they had just cut it, 35-10, and you only had 10 guys out on kickoff, and you got really angry.
I got emotionally hijacked, right?
So I guess that's the small details when you're trying to build a program, right? Was that the message on the sideline, even though you're playing really well and you have a 25-point lead?
Well, absolutely. That's something we discussed and we went over quite a bit in practice throughout the week as coaches and players, and something we said we didn't want to happen anymore, and it happened coming off the sideline after a touchdown, and yeah, that was frustrating. Got a little emotionally hijacked, and gonna continue to get emotionally hijacked if it happened again. So we got to make sure that we're very detailed in everything we're doing, coaches and players. That just can't happen.
Coach, you've obviously seen growing up throughout your life all the great Florida State Miami games. Actually coaching in it for the first time last year down there, what was that like? How was it different being a coach and actually being in that environment?
I guess I had a lot of different emotion in that game. Coming in, you're excited, you know what you're going to get out of it, but from the game standpoint, we're up, and then next thing you know, we're down. So I had a lot of different emotion, but it was fun. You knew what to expect. To me, it wasn't no different than I was as a fan not being here. I wanted to beat them. I wanted to beat them bad, and it's still the same. I want to beat them. Hate losing to Miami. Hate it. Sucks.
In terms of Hamza's 17 tackles, I mean, that doesn't happen very often. Was he, when you go back and watch it, was it just the way things were coming to him, or did he take things to a different level?
I think a little bit of both. I think it was play calling, and I think some of it was just him being in the right position and then going to make some plays that he's capable of making. You know, I thought, like I said earlier, I thought Coach Barnett did a good job play calling and getting him around the ball a little more. And kid, he's talented. I mean, he can cover the entire football field. And but I thought he had a great week of practice and really understood the game plan and what we wanted to get accomplished. And I think that's why it paid off for him, because he was sharp all week. He was doing a great job communicating with his teammates on what they should be doing and what he was getting ready to do. And it paid off for him in the game.
You touched on this Saturday night, but how much is being tough to play at home and making sure you win at home kind of a check mark on the way to being a great program or an elite program?
Well, I mean, that's something we've always done around here, is one and dope, you know, and I think a lot of these young men that decide to come here, a big reason is being in the game here in Doak and being around our fan base and seeing the environment and what it's like. It's a big reason why a lot of them come here, you know, and so they all understand and know that we got to take care of our home. That's so important that we do that, and I've been proud of our guys here lately. We've done that, but a big part of that is our fans. I mean, I think they give our guys a little extra strength to go out and compete the way that we do, and we're going to need it on Saturday.
What does it allow your defense to do when a guy like Robert Cooper is wreaking so much havoc and creating so much disruption in the middle of the line?
Well, I think whenever you can create some penetration, you always affect the offense. You know, whether it's running or pass blocking. Whenever you can get guys on second level, it's different. When you got a guy like Coop in the middle, that's hard to move, and when you get ticked off, you just knock people back. That's tough, you know, and that's something that's what we need to see out of Coop all the time. You know, that's who he can be. That's what we need for him to be, and as long as he's playing at a level like that, you see our linebackers like Emmett making plays like he was making, doing those things when the guys up front can do their job. So it's really important, especially running a 3-4 defense, that our nose guard is physical and aggressive and really get after the center.
Willie, Jordan Young had his first career catch and was an impressive one. I guess how big is that for his confidence? How nice was it to see him get involved in this game?
It was great, because that young man worked his tail off. You know, he don't say anything. He just go to work every single week, and I told him before the game, his time is coming. His time is coming. I mean, his work is not gone unnoticed. We all seen it as coaches, and for me, it's just great to see the young man develop and prepare himself and then take advantage of an opportunity when it came to him. And that catch was huge. You know, that ball was in the air. You can tell who wanted the ball and who didn't. You know, he went and got the ball. You know, he really wanted it. And again, that's what we want out of all of our receivers.
And then we didn't observe Warren Thompson on the sideline. What's the status right now, and is he expected to be back coming up soon?
Well, Warren is handling some personal issues right now. So, yeah, that's it.
After the game, there was a clip circulating on Twitter of a fan shouted you down after a win on your own home field. You didn't seem to react at all. I guess, what is it about your comportment that allows you to not get upset? I mean, you talked about being emotionally hijacked during the game, but something like that, you kind of turned the other cheek, I guess.
Control what I can control. My attitude and my work ethic. That's what I do. You know, I can't control what anybody else says or whatever. I appreciate all of our fans, and we're working really hard to make them all proud. You know, so it is what it is.
Miami's used a few different quarterbacks this year. I guess, what are your impressions of those guys? I'm sure your preparation is the same, but do you have to account for the possibility that you might see some different guys?
I think I've been asked that about 3 weeks in a row now, and no, I mean, I don't think they get too far away from the offense with either guy. that's in there at quarterback. So I think they're going to run their offense, and again, whichever quarterback's in there, we got to be ready for them. I think the beauty is you got film on both of them, so at least you know how they operate up under center, and so we'll be ready for whatever they bring at us on Saturday.
Coach, 12 tackles for loss this last week against Syracuse. I think you only had 2 the week before against Wake Forest. Does that go back to the aggression thing you were talking about on defense, getting after it a little bit more? And is there something you guys maybe learned defensively over the last couple of weeks about that?
Well, no, I heard you all talk about it last week. We didn't get to the quarterback against Wake. Again, we didn't go into the game plan wasn't necessarily to go in there and be aggressive. Wake Forest had a unique style of offense, and if you run and you go in the wrong gap, they'll gas you because of the style of play that they play with. So the game plan wasn't necessarily to be aggressive on that, and I thought the game plan worked pretty well for us in keeping them from scoring so many touchdowns like they had been before. We didn't get to the quarterback, but we kept them out of the end zone. So that was different from a game plan standpoint. And against Syracuse, the game plan was different. We wanted to be aggressive. They didn't run that unique style of offense the way that Wake Forest did, and so we were able to do those things. So I think each week is different in what you're going up against, and try to have a good game plan so our guys can execute. If it means being aggressive, getting at the quarterback, then we got to do that. If it means sitting back and filling your gaps and try to eliminate them from explosive plays, then we got to do that as well.
How's Ricky doing health-wise, and how did you think Parker did? I know he had the one block, but it looked like, was it one of those things where they jumped on somebody to block it?
Yeah, we got to be better up front, up in the front line, especially in our guard position on field goal. We didn't do a good job there. I know one time they called him for jumping on. Probably could have had another one, but I thought Parker did a good job for us. And Ricky's, again, day-to-day, he's dealing with some health issues, and he's day-to-day, and hopefully we get him back soon.
Anything else? Ira?
One more health thing. How did Cam come out? I know the game was in hand, but he did leave the game, it seemed like. How is he health-wise?
He's good. He's typical after a game like that, a little bumps and bruises, but Cam's good. He's good. Be ready to roll. One more.
Sorry. With rivalry games, is there anything different about success in rivalry games? Sometimes you'll see in a series where one team, no matter what happens, kind of has the other team's number. Is there anything different approach-wise with a rivalry game versus regular games?
It's different because it's a rival, and a lot of guys know each other on those teams, and a lot of them probably play high school ball with them or grew up with them, and so that makes it different. It's a game, and it's a different game. Our fan base, everybody's crazy about these games. So yeah, I think it is different in certain ways. I don't necessarily think you go about it different from a game planning standpoint, but I think with our team and our approach, we got to understand, again, where our focus needs to be, and it's on the details of the game plan and what it's going to take to win a rivalry game, and talking is not going to do it. We got to go out and do it on the football field. So we got to make sure that we're prepared and ready to go for Saturday.
Now we good?
Got one more?
You want to name a quarterback?
Yeah, Cam Akers.
All right, take care.